Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Here in Oklahoma, we're starting to dry out. My area of Oklahoma had rain all day on Sunday from early morning all the way through nighttime. And we got probably at least 3 inches of rain. And so it's kind of soggy. We can't get in the garden. There are plenty of other chores to be tended to, so we are not lacking in the work area. I kind of wanted to spend a little bit of time talking today about too proud to prep. And I wanted to tell you the story about the tortoise and the hare. Now I know that you guys, most of you have probably heard that story, different variations of it. I love Aesop's fables, and I love all the different little stories that have morals to them. And most people would say the moral to the story of the tortoise and the hare is slow and steady wins the race. And while that's true, there are other morals that lessons that can be taken from that, and I wanted to discuss that today. I wanted to ask you a question. Are you or someone you know too proud to prepare? Now, if you're familiar with the story, you know that the two main characters are the tortoise and the hare, the turtle and the rabbit. This is going to be Josie paraphrasing of the telling of the tortoise and the hare, or the turtle and the rabbit. Now, one day the rabbit was out and he was bouncing all around and so happy and full of energy and running around and bragging about how fast he was and how strong he was and what kind of endurance he had, and that there wasn't anybody that could beat him in a race. And over time, the turtle, he got tired of hearing all this bragging, and so he stepped forward and said he would race the rabbit. He would challenge him to a race. And so they set up the race, and they had their judge and of who would win the race at the end. And all the other animals gathered to watch the race, knowing full well that the rabbit would definitely beat the turtle. Well, the rabbit was confident and assured of himself, and the turtle had determination. So the race started, and of course the rabbit was gone in a snap, way out in front of the turtle. And the turtle, he just kept trudging along, just a step at a time. And we've talked about that before, taking one step at a time, keep pressing forward. And we still need to do that. And that's what the turtle did. He kept moving forward, kept pressing forward, trudging right along. And the rabbit, he got so far out ahead of him that he began to think, look what I've done. I'm so far ahead of him that I can take my leisure. I can lay here by this tree and take a good long nap and still be able to finish way before the turtle ever did. And so that's what the rabbit did. He laid down by the tree, he curled up, and he went off to sleep. And he had a relaxing long nap because he was confident that he would beat the turtle. As the race went on, the turtle kept going, one step in front of the other, until the finish line was in sight for the turtle, in just a few steps. And the rabbit wakes up and he realizes that he's allowed the turtle to get ahead of him, and so he runs as fast as he can. And no matter how hard he tries to catch up, the turtle still manages to cross the finish line first. The rabbit, he's in shock that he lost to the turtle and can't believe how in the world he would have managed to lose the race. As fast and as wily and as strong as he was, he lost to a turtle. But have you ever asked why he lost? I said at the beginning, slow and steady wins the race, and most will tell you that that's the moral of the story, that the turtle kept going. And yes, for the turtle, the answer was slow and steady wins the race. He kept going, kept pressing forward, and was able to cross the finish line before the rabbit. But have we ever asked ourselves how in the world the rabbit lost the race? How did he manage, in all of his strength and all of his abilities, to not cross the finish line before the turtle? Well, the first thing was that the rabbit didn't take it seriously that the turtle was any kind of competition for him. He believed that he had the advantage. He was overconfident in his abilities. And because of that, it caused him to be built up in himself, puffed up and saying, I have arrived and there's no one that can beat me. And in life, we can do that sometimes. We can be overconfident in our abilities, whatever we're doing, whether we're prepping, which is what we're discussing today, or on the job, or anything in life. We can be overconfident that we're the one that's going to get picked because of our strengths and our abilities. And the things that really are gifts for us, we've been gifted with those things, but because of our inability to use them wisely, we mess up and we fail and we fall short of the things that we should be achieving because of our overconfidence and because of our pride. And the rabbit underestimated the turtle. The rabbit thought there was no way. Nature will tell you that there's no way that a turtle could beat a rabbit. A rabbit is fast. You can't hardly catch a rabbit, but you can surely catch a turtle. I've never ever have I seen a fast turtle. And so nature itself says that a rabbit can beat a turtle. But when you underestimate the things that are coming against you, whether it's people or whether it's government or whether it's just natural things, natural disasters, those things, when we underestimate and we underplan, that's when we find ourselves in a lot of trouble because we didn't either take it seriously or we thought that we had all of our ducks in a row, and we find out that some of our little ducks are way back there on the trail and we've left them behind. We need to gather all of our little ducks back together and reevaluate our plans and reevaluate what our dreams are, what our goals are, what are the things, what are the targets that we've set for ourselves. Now, no doubt the rabbit hated that the turtle won, and all this time that he had bragged and been sure of himself, now all of a sudden he's lost the race to the slowest of the slow in his mind. And sometimes we feel defeated by the very thing that we were so sure and so confident that we had control of, and that thing beat us. And we go away feeling just downtrodden and disappointed and let down. And we don't have to do that. Now, you probably see yourself in the story somewhere. Are you a turtle or are you a rabbit? I have to be honest and say some days I feel like a rabbit, that I'm ready to go and get things done. And other days I feel like a turtle. I'm just putting one foot in the front of the other and just trying to be slow and steady and just checking things off one box at a time. To the rabbits, to those of you that feel like you are confident and you've got strength and you've got ability, that's a great and wonderful thing. It's not bad to be a rabbit, but it is bad if you're a rabbit that does these things, that underestimates the opponent. Lots of people, the rabbits in our story, have great ability to make things happen. They set about with lofty dreams and big goals, and they set out in life to achieve those goals. You see it every day with people that have a dream of being a talented singer or a musician or a ball player or whatever it is. They've set out, that's a goal and a dream and an ambition for them, and they do all these things to make that happen. But there are other people that are gifted with those abilities and those talents, and they do nothing with it. They know that they're good, but they're just sit back and wait. Fall asleep by the tree, waiting for that thing to happen, waiting to reach the finish line, but not ever really finishing the race for themselves. Another thing is having knowledge, but not having the wisdom to know how to apply it. Now, a lot of people are gifted with great knowledge. You've read, you've studied, you've went to school, and you have great knowledge on how to do things. You gather great knowledge in all these different fields of prepping. You learn how to can, and you learn how to animal husbandry, and you learn wild edibles, and you learn how to make medicinals, and you learn about honey and all these different things, working with bees, and just get a wealth of knowledge, but you never go the next step and apply wisdom to that knowledge and carry it through. Now, you see a lot of people on YouTube that are showing you all their projects and the great things they're doing, and you notice that those people have a lot of people watching, and it's because they're showing people, not just sitting down and saying, this is how you do it. They're actually showing people how to do it, and people are hungry for you to share your wisdom. If you've been gifted with knowledge in an area and you're able to apply that with wisdom, what a wonderful, wonderful gift you have, and that you're moving forward and you're still on the race. Having the knowledge and just sitting down is just like the rabbit, just leaning back and taking your leisure and not applying it to your life. There are people that are really strong. I'm not necessarily meaning strength, body strength, but strength in other areas, strengths and abilities. But you're never able to apply that strength. The rabbit was so busy bragging about his abilities that he forgot to do the work. He forgot, by laying there by that tree taking a snooze, he forgot that he had to actually finish the race. He thought that he had plenty of time. We need to make sure that we're not doing the same thing. We need to be up and about doing the work. We hear on the news every day, everywhere we look, prepping channels, the news, the radio, we hear about how prices are going up in food and how some things are hitting the shelves and being stocked, other things haven't got there. One thing that's really affecting us here on our homestead is the price of animal food, grains and things that we feed our animals. Those are things that are going to literally affect us in the near future and has already started affecting us. I went yesterday to get dog food and to get scratch grains and stuff for my chickens and the quail, and the prices just keep going up. And that's something that I have to consider. I can't just keep saying to you the prices are going up, the prices are going up, without putting into action things that I can do here on my homestead that's going to help me to feed my animals. Because it doesn't do me any good to have these chickens and the ducks and all of the different things that we have, our cattle, if we can't feed them. You have to be responsible with your animals, and so that's something that affects us right now and into the foreseeable future, and we have to come up with an answer. So we're studying things out and the different ways that we can do, we can grow grains and we can grow fodder, and we can looking at corn, and of course we feed hay, and for our chickens and for our poultry there's things that we can do that's going to help to feed them. Now this time of year, spring all the way into fall, there's a lot for the chickens, but I have to consider what are some things that are going to help me to be able to make sure that my chickens stay healthy and that that they're able to eat. Now, they free range right now, but with all of the things that are going on with the sicknesses that we've been hearing in the poultry flocks, what would I do if they come along and said, well, you can't free range your poultry. They have to stay in their yards, in their chicken yards. Well, then it would become an issue. I would have to feed more grains because I don't have to feed a lot in the summertime. They get bugs and grasshoppers and worms, and they're scratching constantly, and I don't have to feed a lot. But if that edict came down and said, hey, all of you farms that have these chicken flocks and ducks and turkeys and all the things, you got to have it behind a fence, and it can't free range any longer because we're trying to control whatever it is. Those are all things that we have to think about, and not just think about it, but put it into action. There is so much knowledge out there. There are such smart people that can show you how to do things. They can teach you how to do things, but you have to apply it. You have to run the race yourself. Nobody else can run the race for you. You have to do it yourself. Preparedness and being prepared brings about the need for you to consider what are your strengths and abilities. Number one, I'd say put your strengths and abilities, your knowledge, your wisdom into action. Don't just sit on it. Don't just lay down by the tree like the rabbit and go to sleep. Put it into action. What are some things that you're going to do? Well, you're going to, if you're a canner, then you're going to find food to can. You're going to be putting things up. You're not just going to wait for your garden to produce. You're going to be canning things now that you find on sale. If you find things on sale at the farmers markets or at the grocery store, wherever you find it, and you're going to get it put up, whether you're canning it, dehydrating it, freeze drying it, you're going to get yourself into gear and get it working. Now, I've been wanting to start vanilla for a long time, and but I have yet to take the step of getting the vanilla beans. Well, that's another thing. I've gathered the knowledge, but I have yet to put it into action by ordering my vanilla. Shame on me. I need to do that. Or my vanilla beans. I need to do that. Put your plans into action. If you need to build fence, figure out a way to build fence. We all of us that can need to be growing food. Put your plan into action. If you have hanging pots, put some food in those hanging pots. If you've got kiddie swimming pools, put you some dirt in those kiddie swimming pools and plant some plants in there to grow for food. Now, of course, you're going to have to grow things that don't have really long root systems, but find a place. Don't lull yourself into thinking that everything's going to be all right. I'm tired. I'm going to take a little bit of a rest. You need to be working. You need to put your plans into action. Okay, guys, it's getting a little bit hot out here. Take that little jacket off. Don't allow yourself to say, I've done enough. I'm just going to sit back and let the world go by. We really don't know the situation 100%. We know what the experts are telling us, and I'm no economist, but I can see trouble ahead. I can see hard times ahead, and I know for my family that I need to keep preparing. To me, it's a peace of mind to know that I'm doing something, putting food up for the family, because if you go grocery shopping at all, the prices are going up. We can't deny it any longer. There are people that say, well, I haven't seen any shortages, and you may not be seeing shortages. I went yesterday to Walmart and to Tractor Supply, and at Walmart, I really didn't see any shortages. I did see less choices, but the shelves were stocked. However, product is there right now, but the prices are jumping up. We are really a blessed nation. And I know there's people hurting, but we've really been blessed here in the U.S. Sometimes that can cause us to be a little bit lax on making preparations, not just for a big thing, but just everyday life. It can cause us to set back and take our leisure. It causes us to be overconfident in our own strengths and abilities. Even in the church world, I've seen people that have served God their whole life, workers in the church, and all of a sudden they just get it in their head that they're done and they've done all that they needed to do. And I've been a worker all my life in the church, and I'm going to sit back and let somebody else do it. In reality, none of us have arrived at home yet. If you're still breathing in breath into your lungs, you haven't made it home to heaven. You haven't finished your race. There's nowhere that tells us to sit down by the wayside and to wait. We need to be up and about the business of living life and preparing for our families, but also making sure that we're sharing the gospel with others and telling people about the Lord. Next, I would say, never underestimate the competition. See, that rabbit, he underestimated the turtle because the turtle had a reputation of being slow. But the turtle also was determined. And he wanted to finish the race, one step in front of the other. And the rabbit, he didn't see that gift that turtle had. He didn't see that the turtle was determined to finish the race, and so he underestimated him. And in life, we can underestimate those things around us. Sometimes we look at things and we think, there's no way that can affect affect us at all. You know, that war has happened all the way around the world. It won't affect us at all. But we see that it can affect us. The wheat and the grains and the things that come out of those nations affects us. We grow that stuff here, but the entire world draws off of all of those things. And we're all so interconnected and interweaved together that one thing off kilter kind of causes everything else to wobble a little bit. And we need to make sure that we're not underestimating the abilities of the competition. We don't have any control over the outside world. We can control what's going on with us for the most part. We can't control sickness and disease. We can't control those things that come against us and at the very last minute knock our feet out from under us. But we can keep working. We can keep pressing in there and doing the things that we know to do to provide for our families. Not everybody lives on a farm and is able to garden. Not everyone has livestock. Some of us live in the cities, and we have to do the things that we know to do there. And I have to say, if I went to the city, I would probably be lost, because you guys know how to maneuver through the city, how to get things done, all of the things that seems foreign to me, just like a lot of farm things seem foreign to you guys. But you have to bloom where you're planted and keep running the race until you cross the finish line. All of us have to do that. And we all have to run our individual races. Don't let pride get in your way. Don't think that you're that you're better than others. Don't think that you're better equipped, that you are more gifted. Your giftings and your callings and your talents comes with responsibility. And if you are overconfident in it and you don't use your abilities and you just lay down by the wayside and rest a little while, you're going to find that the world is passing you by, and your challenger, your competitor, is going to cross the finish line before you. I hope this helped you a little bit today to realize that, yes, slow and steady wins the race. Don't let pride get us. Don't let all these things get us. Let's stay positive. Hey, I love rabbits. I'm not anti-rabbit, unless they're in my garden. It's good to be a rabbit, but it's also good sometimes to be a turtle and to slow it down a little bit and keep steady and moving forward. We've talked about that before. But use your giftings and callings. Use your knowledge and pray for wisdom that you can apply that knowledge to your life and to your family's life. I hope this helped a little bit today, guys. This is Josie. Until next time. I love you guys. I really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. Keep running the race. We're gone.